On May 22, 1968, the US Navy lost an entire nuclear submarine in the Atlantic. No wreckage, no distress call, no bodies. For 50 years, the official story didn't add up. The USS Scorpion was state-of-the-art. A skipjack-class attack submarine, 252 feet long, crewed by 99 men, officers, enlisted sailors, sonarmen, engineers. It had been operational since 1960 and had logged thousands of hours tracking Soviet vessels during the Cold War. By May 1968, it was one of the Navy's most reliable boats. Its captain, Commander Francis Slattery, had a spotless record. These weren't men operating on guesswork. They had training, equipment, redundancy systems. Everything suggested they should come home. May 21, 1968, the Scorpion was returning from a patrol near the Soviet Union. It was due in Norfolk, Virginia on May 27. The boat was running on schedule. Nobody in the command structure had reason to believe anything was wrong. The submarine had reported its position normally, followed protocol, maintained radio contact as required. What the Navy didn't know then was that they'd just heard from the Scorpion for the last time. May 27, 1968. The Scorpion failed to arrive in Norfolk. The Navy waited. Maybe it was a communications issue. Maybe it was running late, but hours turned into days and no one had heard anything. By May 28, the Navy had made a decision, declare the boat missing and launch a search operation. 99 men were unaccounted for. The stakes were now measured in lives and in Cold War credibility. Search teams deployed across the Atlantic. Destroyers, aircraft, other submarines, all tasked with finding wreckage or survivors. The Navy knew the Scorpion carried nuclear warheads aboard. Losing a nuclear submarine in 1968 wasn't just a maritime disaster, it was a strategic nightmare. The Soviets would be asking the same questions the Americans were. And in the Cold War, questions without answers bred assumptions, dangerous ones. For weeks, nothing. Then in June, acoustic data came back from underwater listening stations. The Navy's SOSUS array, a classified network of hydrophones on the ocean floor, had detected something, a signal consistent with a submarine implosion. The sound had been recorded around May 22, just after the Scorpion's last known position. That signal told a brutal story to anyone trained to read it. The boat had gone down fast, catastrophically, probably from a hull breach at depth. But here's the problem, nobody knew why. The Navy could measure when the Scorpion died, they couldn't measure why. A submarine implodes when water pressure exceeds the hull's tolerance. That happens when the boat either goes too deep or when something ruptures the hull. Both scenarios demand an explanation and the Navy had none, not yet. 3 theories emerged, each rooted in hard data but incomplete. First, the Scorpion collided with a Soviet submarine. The Soviets had been active in that region, a collision could rupture a hull instantly. Second, a torpedo malfunction. Submarines carry weapons, torpedoes are volatile, a detonation inside the boat would be catastrophic. Third, mechanical failure. A hull valve could jam, a pipe could fracture, systems fail under pressure. The Navy investigated each possibility. No Soviet submarine reported a collision or damage. No distress call was ever found in any Soviet record, and the Soviets, despite Cold War posturing, had no incentive to hide a collision that made them look blameless. The torpedo theory was plausible but speculative. Mechanical failure was possible, but which system, when, why? In 1969, the Navy released an official report. Conclusion: the Scorpion had suffered an unknown casualty. The report didn't name a cause, it couldn't. The evidence was acoustic only, a timestamp of death, not a diagnosis. The Navy made a calculated decision under pressure, acknowledged the loss, honor the crew, close the file. Reopening it meant admitting they didn't know what had sunk their own boat. Decades later, in 2003, researchers found the wreck. The Scorpion lay 10,000 feet down, about 400 miles southwest of the Azores. The hull was intact, no collision damage, no obvious rupture. The boat had imploded, yes, but the physical wreckage offered no new answers. The deep ocean had kept it secret. Some investigators pointed to a theory that had circulated since the 1970s, a Soviet torpedo, not from a collision but from a deliberate attack. The Soviets had been tracking the Scorpion. The boat was in contested waters. A single Mark 37 torpedo, one theory went, could have done it, but this was speculation dressed as evidence. No Soviet records confirmed it. No physical proof existed. The truth is this: the Scorpion sank, 99 men died, and we still don't know exactly why. The Navy made a decision in 1969 to close the investigation. They counted the cost, 99 lives, 1 submarine, strategic embarrassment, and decided that without a definitive cause, further investigation wouldn't change the outcome. It was a rational choice, not a cover-up, but it left a void. What remains is a decision made under pressure by people with incomplete information, exactly the conditions that define military command in real time. The Navy chose certainty of closure over uncertainty of answers. That choice protected an institution. It didn't protect the truth, and the truth is what historians and strategists still chase today. Subscribe. Every week we uncover a new historical disappearance, where the official story doesn't match the evidence. Subscribe. Every week we uncover a new historical disappearance where the official story doesn't match the evidence.